channel. My name's Angela and this is Devon Thread Tales. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be doing a fabric haul. It's quite a large fabric haul. I went through all of the fabric and started pulling everything out that I bought in the last sort of 4 to 6 weeks and realised I bought way more than I bought a lot. And I thought, well, maybe I'll split this video between now and one say after Christmas, but I've got far too excited and I just want to show you everything. So I'm going to go through it as quickly as I can. I will just quickly say that I am wearing a Linden sweatshirt today. It's made in this mustardy colour, really dark yellowy mustardy colour waffle fabric, which doesn't have a lot of stretch in it. It's not actually as stretchy as is required for the Grainline Studio, but it's quite an oversized baggy sweatshirt anyway, so I thought it would be fine. It's got raglan sleeves, and I got this fabric from the Stitchy Bee, from the really lovely Cheryl. She's just absolutely gorgeous, and she has some lovely fabric. This is the fabric up close, if you can see. So yeah, so it's just a really comfy sweatshirt. I'm just at home today and I just thought something comfy and something warm. So there we go, that's what I'm wearing. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to say is thank you so much to everybody that commented on my last video and said about the Vogue dress, because I had a real fail with the wrap dress. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link in up above so that you can have a little look. I basically messed up the front neckline and it's gone all wibbly and wobbly, and I think I've overstretched it. And so many people came out with such fantastic ideas and help, and I was so grateful for that. Now I haven't fixed it yet, but somebody on my comments, and I'm really sorry, I can't remember who it was, I should have looked first before I did this video, sorry. But somebody said, why don't you see if Hayley has still got some fabric? And I just thought, of course. So I went on and there was one small piece left of the fabric. Let me just show you. And I think it's going to be enough for me to just unpick the top off of the skirt and recut the whole of the top piece out. So I'm so pleased. So whoever that was that suggested that, thank you so much, because it's going to really help. But I think I'm going to then take on some of the other comments that were made and actually change the way the neckline is done, because clearly it just wasn't working for me. And I think I'm going to add a neckband because I think that will work better. So that's my first piece of fabric. But whilst I am on the subject of Sew Hayley Jane, when I bought that, I also bought 3 more fat quarters, which matched in with some of the fat quarters that I got in a previous box. In fact, I think it was the last box. So a few people have said they would really rather that I didn't do an unboxing. And some people said they did want me to do an unboxing. And I thought, actually, do you know what? As a really good compromise, what I'll do is when I do a fabric haul, I will show you what I've got in my Sew Hayley Jane box or my Guthrie Ghani Sewing Society box. So rather than having a completely separate video. So I hope that's a bit of a happy medium. But in the box, there were very spacey fat quarters. So there's this one, which is like sea life, but in space. There's then just another spacey one, which is really nice, and a pink spacey one, and a bright, vibrant, sort of rainbowy colour space one. So they're all absolutely gorgeous. Now, a long time ago, out of Sew Hayley Jane fat quarters, I made a pair of Jamie pyjama shorts, or in fact I made 3 pairs for each of my daughters, and they were fabulous. They were so great because they just fitted one pattern piece per fat quarter, so they had this mishmash of shorts and they looked really great. And my middle daughter really loves sharks. I don't know why. There must be a reason why, but anyway, she absolutely loves sharks. And I know this isn't sharks, but I loved the fact that it was sea life and it was in space, and I thought it was a bit different and a bit quirky. So whilst I was ordering my jersey fabric to replace the top half of my Vogue dress, I bought myself some more of these so I can make her a pair of shorts in the whole of this fabric rather than mixing it up. I think these are absolutely great, but I think the pink was too different from the others for me to actually make a pair of shorts. I thought it might look a little bit strange. So I thought, I know, I'll just buy them. And it's very inexpensive because they're only fat quarters. So that was really great. So that's my next bit of fabric. I'm going to keep on with the So Hayley Jane fabric, and in my last box, which was the November box, there was this absolutely beautiful viscose fabric. Now it's I think you'd call that sort of a Air Force blue, and then it has these just splodges, really. I'm sure there's a technical term, but I don't know what it is. But just these splodges of different blues, greys, pale blues, like a browny blacky sort of colour. And I really, really like it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous fabric. Now, I have said that I'm not going to buy any more patterns, and I've been really good and I haven't bought any more patterns. However, I did put a couple of patterns on my Christmas list. One of those was the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo dress. Now, I am so on the fence about this pattern. I have seen so many people wear this dress and it just looks absolutely stunning and looks gorgeous. Before all coronavirus and lockdown and all the rest of it, I tried on quite a few sort of long flowy dresses, and I just didn't feel quite right. I didn't feel comfortable. I don't know whether it was my body shape or the fabric of the garment that I picked up to try on to see if it looked okay. I'm not quite sure what it was, but it just didn't work and it didn't look right on me. So I've kind of written the Indigo off as a bit of an oversized dress that I wouldn't be comfortable with. But quite a few people recently have started putting ties on the dress and giving it a little bit more, to just give it a bit more shape. And I thought, I actually quite like that. So I've put the pattern on my Christmas wish list. I have a feeling somebody has already got it for me. And I have planned to keep this fabric back because I'd like to make this into the Indigo if I get the pattern. If I've been a good girl and I'm on the nice list for Father Christmas. So that is what I'm going to do with this fabric. I absolutely love it. I really like getting the So Hayley Jane boxes. They're just so much fun because you don't know what you're going to get. I'm going to admit I've had a couple of boxes where I've been like, oh, I'm not sure about that fabric, just maybe because of the colour. But actually I've managed to swap ones with other people because the boxes quite often come in different colourways and you never know which colourway you're going to get, and I've actually managed to swap one with somebody, and then another fabric came and my daughter absolutely loved it and I made a dress out of that for her. So I really like getting them because the majority of the fabrics that I've had I absolutely love. So yeah, I'm going to keep having them, and I have the medium size box, so I've got 2.5 meters of this fabric. So that's the So Hayley Jane box. I'm going to pause the video a moment and I'm going to grab the next lot of fabric. So one of the other boxes that I also subscribe, well, I don't subscribe to this. You can actually dip in and out of this as and when you want, but I belong to the Guthrie Ghani Sewing Society and I get the email that then shows you what you're going to get. So going on from the oversized dress Indigo, I've actually gone for another oversized dress pattern, and this is the kit that you get. You get it in a box like this. I'm not going to do a full unboxing, but just to say you get the full amount of fabric, the pattern, you also get the instructions on an email which you can print off yourself, and then you get all of the bits and pieces in a little bag that you need in order to sew it, including the needles for your machine. So it's really, really good. But this one is the Sudley dress. The name of the pattern company is completely and utterly gone out of my mind. That's really bad, isn't it? Let me see if I can just quickly see it. Megan Nielsen. Sorry. So it's the Megan Nielsen Sudley dress, and the fabric that I've got is this absolutely beautiful rayon. It feels like silk. It is so smooth and so soft. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I really want to make the full-on version of this with a big ruffle around the bottom and all the rest of it. It has sort of I'll put pictures up on the screen, but it's got like a keyhole at the front, which you can wear either at the front or at the back. But again, this is not meant to have ties in it, but Lauren on her video when she was sort of advertising this actually had it with a waist tie going around. I don't think that's what I'd like. I think I'd like side seam ties and just tie it around the back, but that's what I'm going to do and that's what I'm going to go for. So a very different colour again from the fabric that I've got from So Hayley Jane for the Indigo. So I'm hoping these will look like two really very different dresses, especially as it's sort of the design of it's very different as well. So I'm quite excited about that one. One thing I have forgotten to say, and I should have said this before I said something else, you may have noticed I have some very different cushions to what I normally have when I'm sat here. And that's because I decided I was going to make Christmas cushions for literally everywhere in my downstairs. So I haven't bought the innards, I've literally recovered cushions that I've got in my house. And what I did is I bought a really big, I think it was a super king size duvet cover, which had two different fabrics. It had, well, actually I'll show you on the cushion, shall I? It had this navy blue and red sort of check, and then on the back of the duvet it had this more prominent red check fabric. And I know it's not really strictly Christmassy, but I quite like tartan, and quite often you see tartan around Christmas, and I just thought, do you know what, I could make cushions out of that. It came with so much fabric that I don't think I could buy the quantity of fabric that I got for the price I paid for the duvet set. So I bought it from a shop called The Range, which is a really big sort of industrial sized, well, they come in big industrial sized units, and there's normally lots of craft stuff, home stuff, cooking stuff, gardening, pets, it's, you name it, they kind of do it. And I think they must buy in bulk because the stuff in there is normally fairly reasonably priced. It's not always great quality, but it is quite good if you're just going for a little amble around. And they had these duvets, and I think I bought this set for, I think it was $22.99. So you can imagine how much fabric I got. Bear in mind you get the front and the back of the duvet and the two pillowcases, and I think I counted up the other day and I've covered 13 different cushions. And I'm not going to lie, I was a bit apprehensive and thought, oh, is it going to look really rubbish? But I'm so pleased with them. In fact, the ones in my lounge, and I'll put pictures in of all the different places that I've done them, but the ones that are in my lounge, I actually think they're better than the ones that were on the cushions originally, and I'm like, ooh, I wonder if I can get away with keeping them once Christmas has gone by. But anyway, never mind. So yes, so I have made those, so a sneaky little make I've just thrown in there as well. So that was a little bit of a non-fabric purchase, but you know, manipulating a duvet cover, so that was really great. So on to the next thing, and before lockdown, or in between the two lockdowns, my family and I went for a painting day. It was a really strange thing. We have this thing quite close to us called China Blue. It's in Totnes, and you can go and paint crockery, and then they take the crockery and fire it up, and a week later you can go and collect it. And it's something that I used to take the children to do when they were really, really little, and we have got some of the most bizarre painted ornaments you can imagine that are really not all that attractive. But as they've got older, they've sort of decided that they quite enjoy doing that. It's a fairly expensive thing to do, so you can only, well, in our case, we can only do it once in a while. But we went to this place and we went and painted our own dinner plates and breakfast bowls and things like that. We just chose one thing each, and it was just such a lovely day, and it was so lovely. But then we went and had a wander around in Totnes, and there was a fabric store there, which off the top of my head I can't remember what it's called, but I will put the name across the bottom of the screen. I think it's something like Crafts and Needlework or something like that. But while we were in there, we had a little look for some fabric, because I have got the Megan Nielsen Darling Ranges pattern. I've never made it, but I bought it with my daughter in mind because I thought it would be something that she would really like. I thought it'd be a style she'd quite like. And she chose this fabric, and it's a really nice, it is just a quilting cotton, but on a quick glance I think it looks like it's got bees on it. It hasn't. It is just literally these yellow and grey and sort of creamy spots on this green background. I don't know what kind of green you would describe that as, but I think that's really, really sweet. And we've chosen some wooden buttons as well to go with it, and I'm going to try and make her the Darling Ranges dress. I was going to make it really, really recently, but as the weather's turned colder, I thought, well, maybe that's something I need to do when it starts turning a bit warmer next year. But that's what I've got planned with that one. So I'm going to pause the video there again and grab the next sort of fabric. So I've got a couple of silly pieces of fabric, and these are both one's for my daughter and one's for my husband. So in one of my previous videos, I showed you that I made my husband a pair of Hudson pajama pants, and they were made out of fabric with tractors all over them. He chose the fabric. I didn't force him to wear it, but oh my goodness, he just goes on and on and on about how much he absolutely loves these pajamas, and when are you going to make me another pair? I'm like that. Right. So one night I went on a website or a few websites, and I said, right, come then, what do you want? What fabric do you want? Again, thinking he might choose something that was a bit more sensible, but he didn't. He went for fabric with cars all over them, and he does like his cars. He likes to tinker around on his cars just as he does as much on his bikes. So he has chosen this fabric which has got stop signs, go, I love cars, different coloured cars, taxis, traffic lights. It's just a bit of fun, fun fabric. And I bought this from First for Fabrics, which is in Newcastle. It's a really lovely, nice weight cotton jersey. I think it's ever so slightly thinner than the pyjama bottoms that I made him before, which I think will be a good thing because he did say they are very warm. I bought a tiny bit extra because I'd like to make him a t-shirt to go with these pyjamas, but I need to find, I'm not going to do him a t-shirt in this fabric as a whole because I think that might be a bit much. Or will it? Maybe that would look quite funny. Because do you know what? I think he would wear it anyway. I was thinking of getting maybe some grey fabric and then putting this as a raglan sleeve on the side, or some blue fabric. Now I'm thinking maybe I should just make him the whole thing, because I think maybe he would wear them. But anyway, this is really lovely fabric from First for Fabrics. I've got quite a bit of it, so I think I've got enough to make both the Hudson pants and maybe a whole t-shirt as well. So that was for John. Then the next silly fabric that I bought was for my daughter. Now, I said to you a moment ago that she is shark crazy, and I generally don't know where that shark sort of fascination comes from. She just thinks they are really fascinating creatures, and she thinks that they are unjustly thought of because, you know, they actually aren't as aggressive as what they are made out in the films and things like that. I don't know. Anyway, so I was having a look through and I can never find decent shark fabric which I think is appropriate. Anyway, I saw this, and as a joke I showed her, and she said, oh, I really want some of that. So I just thought, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to get it. I have no idea if she's going to wear this, but I bought this from Flamingo Fabrics. Now, I don't think I've ordered anything. Have I ordered from them before? No, I don't think I have. But I must have looked up something to do with sharks, and then this kept coming up on my feed because, you know, Big Brother up there somewhere or Google is looking out on everything that you're searching, aren't they? So this kept coming up on my feed, and I thought, do you know what? I am really tempted. So I showed her, and it's a cotton jersey. It's really nice quality actually, and it feels really, really soft. But I think I'm going to make her a little Agnes dress. And I said to her, well, if I got it, would you wear it? Oh my goodness, she said, yes, I would wear it. And she is thinking an Agnes dress. I think that's what she would like. So that's what I've gone for. It's a bit crazy and it's a bit mad, but she loves it. So there we go. So that is my next crazy fabric. Something a bit more sensible. And I had a little shop on the Satisfaction, in the Satisfaction website. Now, I've only got a little bit of this fabric because I've actually cut out this garment already, because I knew exactly what I wanted to make this out of. And when it came, I got it washed and I got it cut out. But this is a little piece of it. This is well, I don't know how to describe it actually. It is sort of like a sweatshirt fabric, but it's very, very lightweight, and it's got a very smooth back. So the back of it's really nice and smooth, but the front has got this very small sort of waffle. Sorry, that's the trouble with having black fabric and white dogs. You end up getting fur on things. But it's got this sort of waffle type effect on the front, very, very small and fine. But it's actually got a sparkle all the way through it. It's really sweet, really, really nice. And I just thought, if it comes and it's sort of as fluid as I think it's going to be, then I'd really like to make the Tilly and the Buttons Billy sweatshirt, just the top. Now, I have to make a confession here, don't I? Because actually, the Billy sweatshirt came out after I said I wasn't going to buy any more patterns, and I have actually bought it. So I'm really sorry. I have bought one pattern. That's two. I've bought one pattern, and I'm not sorry. Because I really can't wait to see what this looks like. I am trying to manipulate it so that the sleeves are smooth at the top and they are ballooned at the bottom, because at the moment the pattern comes as either just totally plain sleeves, or it comes with a balloon top and a poofy top and a balloon sort of bottom around the cuff of the dress. Now, I really like the look of it, but when I wear anything that's puffed up here, I feel like, whether I look like it or not is another thing, but I feel like I look really broad and really big up here, and I'm not comfortable with that at all. And so I'm trying to manipulate the pattern, and I've actually seen on Instagram a few people have done that, so I'm going to do that and then hopefully share that with you soon. But to go with that, I also bought this fabric, which is, I think you'd call this a houndstooth. And this is a Pontoroma. I'm really, really pleased with this. I've been wanting to get something like this for a while. Now, I bought it with the intention of making a skirt. However, I don't know why. I must have not been thinking when I was ordering it, but I've actually ordered quite a bit of it. I think I've got 2 meters or 1.5 meters. And when it came, my girl said to me, oh, they'd make really nice trousers. And I'm thinking that as a trouser with that as the Billy top, I think would look really, really nice. Now, the only pattern I can think of that I would like to make with these is the Sew Over It ultimate trousers, and they are not meant to be made out of a Pontoroma, but I have messaged Sew Over It and I've had the most wonderful message back, so unbelievably helpful, and they have come back to me and said, yes, more than likely you can make the ultimate trousers out of these, out of a Pontoroma. You just maybe need to make a few adjustments, maybe omit the zip and maybe add a bit of elastic and maybe add the waistband as opposed to just the facing. So I'm really, really happy that I messaged them because they've been so helpful, and I'm really looking forward to cutting these out and possibly having a smart but really still quite comfortable pair of trousers to wear with my Billy top. So that was my Satisfaction purchase. Everything else I've got to show you now is from Minerva, so I'm going to just pause the video again and come back to you with my Minerva fabric. Okay, so I am part of the Minerva blogger network, and it's really fab. I really like being part of it. You get sent a list of fabrics and you can choose from them, and this time I don't quite know how it's happened, but anyway, I've ended up with 4 fabrics. So the next 4 fabrics I'm going to show you, I've actually been gifted these, so they are mine to be able to make a garment out of, and then I will share a video, Instagram, and actually write a blog post on it. So I'm actually over on the Minerva blogger team, and you can find me there as Devon Threadtails, so I'll make sure I put a link in underneath as well, so if you want to follow me over there, you're more than welcome. And I'll put my link in for Instagram too. So I have bought I've been gifted these 4 fabrics. So the first one is this absolutely gorgeous, now I think it's Art Gallery. I should know this, shouldn't I? I think it's Art Gallery. Let me have a quick look, see if I can see it on the side. Oh no, I can't. Anyway, it is this absolutely gorgeous cotton jersey, but it is so super soft. And I did have in mind what I was going to do with this, but now it's come, I've changed my mind a little bit. I think I saw Shona from Satisfaction, they sold this fabric as well, and she had a top made with this, and I decided I'd quite like the idea of maybe the Agnes dress for myself, but now I'm not sure because I feel like this fabric is so beautiful and the Agnes is a great pattern, but I almost now think, is that too simple a pattern for it? Maybe I need something a bit fancier and a bit nicer. I don't know, or I'm just being silly, but I'd really like some tips and hints on what you think I could make with that. I've got quite a bit of it. I've got 2 meters of it, I believe, so I could definitely make a dress out of it, but it's just absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to make something because it's so bright and colourful and cheerful, and I love this turquoise. Isn't that gorgeous? I just absolutely love it. So that one is one that I'm going to be doing a blog for, but I'm still a bit on the fence about what I'm going to make with that. So that was the first one. The next one, I knew instantly what I wanted to make with this. This is a viscose jersey, and it is just, oh my goodness, it is just lovely. And I know it's black and white, and I know I get a lot of black and white, but I just loved it. I loved the geometric sort of style of it. I thought it was really, really up my street. And I'm going to make something with this that I've never made before. I'm going to make the Tilly and the Buttons Joni dress. And I'm really hoping that I can make this in time for Christmas, because I think this will be my Christmas Day dress if I can do that. So I've actually started to cut it out already. It's so super soft. It's really drapey. I think it would be perfect for that skater style type skirt. And I think it will work really well with a twisted front. The Joni dress you can make either sort of a fluted sleeve or a tight fitting sleeve. For me, I think I'm more comfortable with a tight fitting sleeve, and I'm going to go with sort of an elbow length one because I think that's quite a flattering style. And also, if it's tighter fitting, I can then wear a cardigan over it, easier than if I had sort of a larger sort of free flowing sleeve. So really pleased with that one. So hopefully that post will be up on Minerva soon once I've got that made. Then I got this fabric, which again is a viscose jersey in a mint and grey stripe, nice wide stripe. And I know exactly what I want to make with this, and I know it's really sort of plain, but I think it's quite nice to have some nice plain tops and things in your wardrobe. But I quite like the idea of making the Sew Over It Molly top, which is from one of the Sew Over It ebooks. I think it's the first one, and it's really great because it's got a partially grown on sleeve, and then you just add the sleeve as an extension at the bottom. And I like the way that if you make it in a stripe fabric like this, you can make it look like it's got sort of chevrons going down the elbow, down the shoulder. Can't tell which part of my body I'm talking about. But I really like that. I think that's a really nice look. I've possibly got enough to make a dress out of this, and I could make it slightly longer or even make it sort of tunic length, not quite sure, but I really like the idea of that. It seems like a really simple idea, I know that, but I just really like that colour, and I thought it would be nice because it's a different colour for me to have in my wardrobe. So that was the third one, and then the last one is this gorgeous, and wow, another houndstooth, I suppose you would call it, and it is sort of a burgundy, a brown and black and white or creamy white houndstooth design. I really like this fabric. I think this will look absolutely gorgeous as a very slim fitting pencil skirt, and I think I'm going to go for the Sew Over It Ultimate Pencil Skirt. So a few Sew Over It patterns there that I'm thinking of doing. I think this will work really well for work. I think I'll then be able to wear it with a nice blouse, maybe like a pussy bow blouse or something like that. So I'm really looking forward to making this. I quite like the style. I don't know if anybody saw the Queen's Gambit recently, but oh my goodness, all of that sort of styling was really great, and the really quirky shoes and things like that. And I'm thinking, oh, that would look really nice with maybe a nice little pair of court shoes and a nice smart blouse or pussy bow blouse or something like that. So I'm really looking forward to making that, and I think I might even have enough of it left over. My girls have said, oh, you've got enough left over, can I have like a mini pencil skirt in it? So I might be making some matching ones, obviously not to wear at the same time because I'll get told off. So that is all the fabric that I have been gifted, but I also bought some, but I'm just gonna pause the video again and come back and grab the other fabric. So I promise this is the last lot of fabric. When I was looking through the fabrics that you could use to make a blog post with, I chose loads because there were so many on there that I thought were really lovely, and obviously I've been very lucky enough that I've been gifted some. However, once I've been gifted those, I thought I really want some of the other ones. So I went back and bought some, which is so crazy, I know. So another slightly silly fabric, but both of my younger daughters are studying A-level maths, and one of them's doing A-level maths and A-level further maths. And I saw this fabric, and I know that my middle daughter is quite quirky, and I showed her this fabric and she went, yeah, I'll wear that. So I have bought this fabric, which has just got lots of different sums on it, and little bright stars in between each of the sums. It's on a black background and it's a cotton jersey. And I'm just going to make her a t-shirt, which I know sounds really weird and strange, but I'm going to make her a little t-shirt out of that. But I've bought... Oh, it's really, really wide, and I think I only bought a metre of it, but I think I could get probably a couple of t-shirts out of it. But I just really loved it, and I thought that's right up our street. So, yeah, very simple, but I'm going to be making a t-shirt from that one. I did say I could probably make some matching pants, but obviously that's all a bit embarrassing, so we're not going down that route. But that was the first fabric from Minerva that I bought. Then I bought this fabric. Now I have seen somebody wearing a really gorgeous long roll neck top dress, and it comes right down to their ankles, but it's got slits at the side, and in my mind it is almost identical to the Nico top. True Bias, I think that is, and I've actually, again, I've put that on my Christmas list, so I'm really hoping that I might get that for Christmas, but we'll see. If I don't, it's absolutely fine, because I think I could manipulate another pattern anyway. But I saw this fabric and I thought, oh, that's just what I've been looking for, like a rib but with a wide stripe on it. Now I know I've been saying for a long time I want to get colour into my wardrobe, but just on a side note, I have bought lots of really bright fabric, which I've shown in a previous fabric haul. So although some of these are quite dark, I do just want to say, you know, I still like these colours, but I have also got the brighter colours as well. Anyway, when this fabric came, it is so lovely. It's really, really soft, but it's actually really thin, like really, really thin. I don't know if you can see, it's really floppy. You can actually see through it. I can see you anyway. I don't know if you can see me, but it is really, really soft and drapey, and I don't know whether that's going to be far too soft for the Nico. I don't know whether or not I would be better off with something thicker. So I'm now not sure if that's going to work for what I had planned with it. And again, if you've got any advice on that, that'd be great. I just don't think if I use that to make a roll neck, because the Nico has got like a little roll neck and then it's really long. I think the body of the dress, it probably would work okay. If you imagine that sort of going around like that, I don't know if that will stay stood up. I don't know if that might be a bit strange. And I can't stand things which ruffle up when they're not meant to be ruffled. I like things to be neat and tidy. But I really like this fabric. It's exactly the pattern of fabric that I wanted to make this roll necked long dress, but I just don't know if it's the right fabric. So let me know if you've got any ideas. If you don't think it's any good for that, then maybe let me know what you think it might be nice for. I did wonder about cardigan, because actually, again, I've bought enough lengthwise for the dress, but it's really, really mega wide, so I might have enough for a couple of garments in it, to be honest with you. But that was the second fabric I bought from Minerva. I then bought, with a cardigan in mind, this fabric. Now, I don't know if it says on here what this is. Doesn't actually say, but I want to say that this is like a jacquard jersey, and I can't actually tell if it's black or if it's navy blue. Again, does it say on here? No, it does say black, but it is this really gorgeous textured jersey fabric or knit fabric, and I really like the idea. I bought quite some time ago the Itch to Stitch Lisbon cardigan, and I really fancy the idea of making this into a cardigan. Again, it's a bit thinner than what I was anticipating, but I think that will work. I think it'll be fine. It'll just be lightweight sort of little cardi, and I think over something totally plain that would look quite nice as a little cardigan over the top. I think I've probably got enough for a couple of different garments, and actually I've got a Pinterest board with a couple of things on there which I really like, and there was a dress that I liked which was a plain t-shirt dress which is totally black, and then it went into a thin black and white patterned part of the skirt, and then a thicker black and white patterned section of the skirt. And I'm wondering whether or not I could copy that sort of idea with something like this, because I've got another black and white jersey with a bigger spot on it, so I think it might work really well. So I'm going to have a little experiment with that. But I really like this. I think it's really nice. It was exactly what I wanted, just maybe a bit thinner than what I was expecting, but it's still really nice quality and it feels really lovely. Haven't washed this one yet, but all the others I've washed and they've washed up beautifully. So that was the third one I bought. Last one, I promise, and this is something that I'm going to be making in the spring, summer, and this is a stretch cotton sateen, I think that's how you say it, and I just love this. This is a navy blue with a red and bottle green and white little circle design in it. It is really, really smart. I really like it. The feel of it is really nice. It's so soft and super smooth, and I just want to make a really smart pair of trousers, but something that's got a fly front and pockets. I have got the closet core pattern Sasha trouser pattern, so I think that's definitely a possibility, but I really want to give this fabric justice, and I want them to look really smart and like a really nice sort of cigarette style kind of trouser, which I can wear with little pumps and just a plain top or something. I just absolutely love it. I'm really, really pleased with this fabric. I think it's really lovely, and I can't wait to make it. So there's my ginormous fabric haul. I'm really sorry. I hope that hasn't taken too long. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any ideas of what you think I could make, or you think, oh, I don't think that'll work, but this would work, then let me know. Let me know what you're all making as well, because I'd like to know what you're all making. Are you all into winter garments at the moment, or are you pre-planning sort of the warmer weather? And also, if you would like to follow me on Instagram, then please do. I'll put my details below. If you haven't subscribed before, then please press that subscribe button. Give me a like, give me a hello. But other than that, I hope everybody's okay, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!